wiry and scrawny. She was pale where Bet was brown, her skin smooth where Bet's was scarred. Lita's eyes were gentle, at least they were, until they landed on Esther's little nest among the saddle blankets and dry goods, that is. When she saw Esther's hiding place, those gentle eyes flashed hard, then went wary and darting. "Now, Lita," Bet growled, her eyes still on Esther like a snake watching an approaching ankle. "Didn't I ask you to check this wagon when we left town?" Lita didn't answer, but her face told the story well enough. Asked to do the task, didn't feel like doing it, said it was done to move things along. "Please don't shoot me," Esther said, coughing as the words hit her dry throat. "I don't mean any harm. It's just that you're running away," Bet intoned flatly. "You're running away to join the Librarians." "Well, I'm not running away from anything," Esther stammered, the lie loose on her tongue. "I'm running to something." "Give the girl some water," Lita muttered to Bet. "She's delirious." "She's Victor Augustus's daughter," Bet replied. Lita's eyes got big as she looked back to Esther. Those eyes were canaries, Esther realized. They sang everything that passed through Lita's head, loud and clear enough for anyone to catch. "Shit," she hissed. "We don't have time for this." "Does your father know where you are right now?" Bet asked. Esther hesitated, then shook her head. Bet mirrored the movement. "No? Stupid to tell me so," she said. "If he doesn't know you're here, there's not a chance of a consequence for me if I shoot you dead and dump your body in the desert." She sighed, lowering the revolver, and Esther took in a full breath at long last. "Get out of that wagon before you sweat fear stink all over my horse blankets. Later, this water is coming out of your supply." With that, Bet walked away and out of sight. Esther slid out of the wagon on weak legs, her feet slipping in the gravel. She'd worn her most practical shoes, but she could already tell they wouldn't keep her upright on the trails the Librarians rode. Not that good shoes could be her immediate concern, she thought. She couldn't rightly say that this wasn't going according to plan, since there hadn't been much of a plan in the first place, but it certainly wasn't going the way she'd hoped it might. She couldn't think of why a head librarian would need to carry a revolver instead of a rifle. A rifle would do just fine for whatever might be in the desert, whatever might come across the horizon to make a woman nervous. A revolver was too close up for a woman to carry, her father'd always said. A revolver was a man's weapon, made to end an argument. A librarian, Esther thought, shouldn't ever have need of arguing. That was the whole point. A strong, calloused hand caught her by the elbow before she could stumble again. It was Lita holding a canteen. Esther would have sworn she could smell the water inside of it. She drank too gratefully, and that strong hand slapped her on the back hard to make her cough up the water she inhaled. "You don't want to lie to Bet, you understand?" Lita whispered, her mouth close enough to Esther's ear to stir the hair near her temples. "I wouldn't," Esther replied. She decided not to remember the last time Beatrice had been that close to her ear. The things they'd whispered to each other then. "I mean it," Lita said. "She'll know if you lie, and if you do, you can forget about her letting you stay." Esther nodded, her heart pounding. If she played this thing wrong, she had no idea what might happen. Maybe Bet would take her home to face her father's wrath. Maybe Bet would turn her loose in the scrubland to wander, lost and alone. Maybe Bet would pull that iron out again, and maybe this time she'd use it. But, Esther reminded herself, that was only if she screwed up. If she did everything right, on the other hand, well, then she might just get to become a librarian. A full canteen of water later, Esther was sitting on a rock across from Lita and Bet, and she was lying harder than she ever had before. "I've always wanted to be a librarian," she said, looking Bet right in the face, making her eyes wide and earnest, the way she did whenever she talked to the superintendent about the importance of the flag and the troops and the border.